If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
After nearly 5 years, the young Dolph murder case has come to an end. The last defendant in this case, admitted gunman Cornelius Smith, took a plea deal today for second-degree murder. He will spend about 15 more years in prison. Fox 13's Sheila O'Connor has the details.
Good luck to you, Mr. Smith.
A killing that rocked Memphis. Rapper Young Dolph, real name Adolph Thornton Jr., gunned down at Makita's Cookies in November 2021.
Dolph, he was a cherished member of this community.
4.5 years later, the case is now closed. Admitted gunman Cornelius Smith pleaded guilty Friday to second-degree murder and a 20-year prison sentence.
The Justin Johnson trial, we feel that we got some justice, and now with this guilty plea, we feel like we get some justice as well.
His attorney says Smith will get credit for the time he's already served in jail since his arrest in early 2022. It's a deal that has taken months to reach.
Cornelius has, Mr. Smith has always contemplated pleading guilty. He has always said that he's one of those two men on the video who's shooting Dolph.
He just wanted to do the right thing at that point and said that he felt extremely horrible for what had happened.
Smith shot and killed Dolph alongside Justin Johnson. Johnson is serving life in prison for first-degree murder. During Johnson's trial, Smith told the jury they were executing a hit put out by Big Juck, late brother to rapper Gotti. Hernandez Govan was accused of orchestrating the hit but was acquitted on all charges last year. Prosecutors say Dolph's family is okay with Smith's deal.
Yeah, I think we struck a balance of something that's firm and something that gave them a measure of justice that they wanted.
Mr. Smith is extremely remorseful for what's happened. He was hoping that his testimony and stuff would bring some justice in this case and give some closure to the family.
A case now closed. In Memphis, Sheila O'Connor, Fox 13 News.
He probably really thought to himself that, yeah, I'm finna turn states on my homeboy, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I get him convicted. Make sure I get the other guy convicted. And, you know, they gonna give me a sweet deal and I'm gonna be at the crib. Nah. Cornelius, cornbread? Nah. Ain't gonna be none of that, bruh. Not after them people seeing you with that Draco just a shaking and all that, shooting young Dolph like that. They not finna do that, dog. Nah, And then not only that though, you know, you hit him with your boy, you know, the guy that you was shooting with, what they call him, straight drop. Yeah, you know, they got both of y'all on camera. So, you know, you got straight drop. You got him life in the penitentiary. But Orange Mound Quet, that's a different story. See, you tried to knock Quet too. Quet got up, he got up from up under that jam. He beat him, you know. And so that right there possibly, you know, had something to do with him getting that 20 years. Because, you know, they probably say, hey man, if you can get both of these guys for us, you know, we'll let you, but you ain't get both of them. So now we got to slap you upside your head with old Dub in a Tennessee penitentiary, right? With that snitch label all on you. You see? Now look, let me get an understanding with the hood educated residents and guests. If you are a taxpaying citizen or you are a civilian, you can call the police all you want to. You don't have to go by these street rules and all that old type of stuff because you're not in the streets. A lot of us brothers that was in the streets who are now out of the streets, we still be stuck in that thinking that we still got to go by street rules when we're not even in the streets no more. That's how messed up that stuff had your brain. But no, you got to start thinking like a regular person now. You're not in the streets. So I have no problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is this. Criminals telling on criminals. I do have a problem with that. And the reason why I have a problem with that is because you're not following the street rules. When you're in the streets, you are supposed to follow street rules and regulations. And in the streets, as backwards as they are, you got to follow. If you go to jail, you keep your mouth closed. If your friend go to jail, he keep his mouth closed. Even if you didn't do it, you got to keep your mouth closed. If you know, for an example, these are street rules, y'all. Say if somebody got killed and you know who did the killing, but the police come hit the hood and they come snatch you up, and all of a sudden they got you locked up for the murder you know you didn't do. You know your homeboy did the murder, but street rules, even though you ain't did the murder, you looking at the rest of your life in the penitentiary. Street rules tell you can't say nothing. You gotta accept somebody else's murder and go do the rest of your life, or a large portion of your life, for somebody else's murder. Those are street rules. That's backwards, don't you think? Ain't that backwards? But I believe that though. You know, when I was in the streets, I believed that way. And it's a lot of brothers right now, a lot of sisters that believe that way. That's backwards. If we are all in this thing together and we supposed to be brothers and we in this gang, we love each other, we'll die for each other and all that, how come the rule ain't different? How come the rule ain't, hey look, if one of the brothers get locked up for your murder, that brother who actually did the murder, he got to come forward and he got to clear you. He got to clear your name and say, hey man, look, check it out. Hey, that's me. I got to confess. He ain't had nothing to do with that. That's the right thing to do, but nah, hell no, not in the streets. Not in the streets, nah, hell no, you can't do that. Everybody supposed to be quiet. You see? Y'all see how backwards that is? You see how backwards that is? Now, here it is, you got this boy right here, he really believed in his mind that, you know, he finna tell on his partners and then get out and go home. So, look, allow me to say this right here for some of you guys that like to, you know, snitch on your partners and all that old type of stuff. Look, you don't go home all the time. You don't go home. And let me explain to you why you're not going to go home, even after you did all that snitching on your friends. If you did not snitch before y'all got caught, it's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. See, informants and stuff like that, confidential, reliable informants, they the ones that get away with all that type of stuff. But if you think y'all finna get caught for a crime and then you finna say, hey, look, check this out, I'm telling my friends, and you think you finna go home, yeah, nah, sadly mistaken. This boy right here is a prime example of that. You know, and for those of us who've been in the criminal judicial system, unfortunately, and done been in these state and federal prisons, we know this all too well to be true. It's so many guys that when you locked up, it's so many guys in there locked up for telling on their homeboy that's locked up. You see, they caught a murder together, did a robbery together, they did something together, and the homie say, hey man, yeah, he, and they say, yeah, thank you for the information, but we sending your ass to the penitentiary too. So yeah, for all y'all that's out there, and yeah, man, you know, get out the way. Because look, if you can't do the time, then you shouldn't be doing no crime, period. Ask yourself, to all my street guys, right? My gangsters. Ask yourself, how much time can you do in prison? No, you really got to ask yourself this. How much time can I do? How much time do I want to do in prison? How much time can I do in prison? If you don't want to do a day in prison or in the county jail or nothing, then you need to quit doing crime. You need to stop while you ahead, because you're going to jail. Yeah, you're going to go to jail. So yeah, if you can't do no time, period, if you can be real with yourself and say, you know what, I think I got a nickel in me, I probably can do about a 5. okay, yeah, I could do about a 5. And all right, okay, but if you in that 5 range, you in that 10 range too. So hey, look, but for real though, on the real side, like, come on, and the reason why this demonstration right here is so important is because you have a lot of young guys in these streets, and they're hearing about all these stories about, the young Dolph stuff, and just, stuff in their neighborhood that's going on, and guys going to prison and stuff like that, and guys snitching and getting out, guys snitching and going to prison, All this stuff right here plays a role in the psyche of all these young brothers because they start to think that this stuff is normal. They start to think like this stuff right here is okay. Some of us, when we were shorties, we just used to fool ourselves and say that, man, everything that's happening to us, God wanted it to happen to us. Because everything is written. So I'm out here with this gun because God want me to be out here with this gun. This how foolish we used to think. Just so that we can convince ourselves that we're not doing nothing wrong. When you want to do something wrong, you will convince yourself, you know what I'm saying, that what you're doing is not wrong. Ain't that crazy? But that's what we do all the time. We do it as adults. And those are some of the things that young gangsters, like myself, when I was out there in them streets, we used to, convince ourselves and fool ourselves like that just so that we can feel comfortable in creating all this chaos in the community. So that we can feel comfortable shooting, beating, robbing, and killing people that look just like us. You see what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff that we used to do. So that's why it's important that these kids understand this, that look, man, hey, you're going to jail or you're going to die playing in these streets. The music industry and the streets have always been closely linked, but recent headlines bring us face to face with a tragic reality check. Cornelius Smith Jr., better known as Cornbread, one of the men responsible for the 2021 murder of Memphis rapper young Dolph, was just sentenced to 20 years in prison. Smith took a plea deal, turning on his co-defendant to avoid a life sentence. But let's look at the math. He has already spent years behind bars. He has 15 more to go, and he will serve 100% of that time. And what I mean by 100% is there is no parole, no early release. He has to do day for day. If you are a young brother, a young sister ripping and running them streets, and you thinking to yourself that fast life, selling drugs, accepting a hit, or street loyalty is the way to win, let's look at what that path actually gives you. When people talk about the street life, they paint a picture of loyalty, quick money, and respect. But the actual court records show a completely different story. Even though the streets might have rules and regulations, those rules and regulations goes out the window when street guys are sitting in the courtroom. Smith testified that he was promised a split of a 100,000 hit that was placed on young Dolph's head. Although Smith was promised his split, he never saw the money. Instead of wealth, he got handcuffs. Street guys must start to understand that loyalty does not exist in the streets. When the pressure builds, everyone looks out for themselves. Smith testified against his own partner to save his own skin. In the end, there is no brotherhood in that courtroom. In the end, there is no brotherhood when you are faced with life in the penitentiary. In the end, there is no brotherhood when you get people that are faking gangster, but not really gangster. Young brothers and sisters, you must realize that your big homie don't care about you. The people offering you money to kill people don't care about you. The people that are offering you money to do their bad criminal activities don't care about you. They are simply using you as a pawn. They stay in the shadows while you take the fall. While you commit all the crimes, they in the background with their feet up, laughing, giggling, and chilling. While you out there putting your life on the line for someone who don't give a damn about you. Before making a choice that cannot be undone, look at where the road ends. In this demonstration concerning young Dolph, the mastermind behind the hit Big Jook was shot and killed in 2024. He never faced the judge, but he paid with his life. Justin Johnson, the co-shooter, is serving a life sentence plus an additional 35 years for his role in the murder of young Dolph. Before you make a decision that will give you life in a cage, think about your mothers, your children, and your siblings. While you sit in a cell or lie in a grave, they are left to pick up the pieces, deal with the grief, and live with that stigma that you left them with. So instead of following these street guys, following these street rules, true strength isn't found in pulling a trigger or proving how tough you are to people who won't remember your name in 10 years. True strength is breaking the cycle. All of us have a God-given talent. All of us have a God-given intellect and potential that the streets will only waste. So I want to encourage you, young brothers, use your talents for the better. Don't allow the streets to take your talents away from you by sending you to the penitentiary or to an early grave. Use that energy to build business, create art, learn a trade, or take care of your family. Do not let your legacy be a booking photo and a Department of Corrections inmate number, because you are more valuable than that. The path that Cornelius Smith took is a path that a lot of young brothers and some classic brothers take on a daily basis. But understand, that road that Cornelius Smith took led him to a cage and a lifetime of regret. Learn from his mistake. Choose your future, protect your freedom, and walk a different path. Now, before I depart, allow me to say this right here. I believe in my mind that Cornelius was used. They tried to play him for a goofy. They understood that he had a drug habit, and they believed in their mind that, look, we can take him on a mission, commit the murder, feed him drugs while, we take the big lump sum of the money and just continue to feed him drugs, and he gonna be cool. You see? So, this is the streets though. This is betrayal at its best. We're gonna use him and make him help us kill young Dolph, and then we're gonna treat him like he ain't nothing. Y'all heard what he testified to. He was calling them, they was ignoring him, they only gave him $800 and all this old type of stuff. So the back door was already in on him, you see? And so being that the back door was already in on him, he understood. Once they got locked up, he understood the whole play. The whole play wasn't to give him nothing. They was backdooring him. They was finna take the lump sum and probably would have ended up killing him if he would have get to, talking too much, because they understand what they did. And it's just too serious just to have a loose link like that running around talking about, yeah, hey man, we killed young Dolph, man, this, that. You see what I'm saying? So even though I don't like when guys, are criminals and then they start snitching on each other, I gotta be 100 and say that I kind of understand. Well, no, ain't no kind of. I understand. Because, he was being betrayed. And we can't act like we can't just deny that and stuff like that. Like, look, that's another one of those street rules as well. Like, your gang can betray you, but you still gotta stay loyal. Your gang could have been done shot you, and you still got to be like, your gang could have been done robbed you, killed one of your family members or whatever. You got to just be, you see what I'm saying? So yeah, this man right here is locked up. Y'all were trying to betray him, and now he like, man, hey, look, it's my time to get my get back for that. I don't understand those type of rules. You know what I'm saying? Where, your gang can just dog you out, treat you like a goofy, steal from you, rob from you, shoot you, have sex with your baby mama, have sex with your daughter, and just dog you all the way out, and you supposed to just sit there and just be loyal. You're supposed to be loyal to all that, and I can't say nothing. I better not speak on nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't kill him because we in the same gang together. You see, I can't do that. All of them treating me like I'm a goofy, so what I'm gonna do? It's not just one. All of them look at me like I'm a goofy and they treating me like one. They dogging me. So what can I do? You see? So yeah, I can't blame them, even though I don't like that, but I can't blame them. But for the youth, for the kids out there, look, this is what the street got to offer you. You don't want to be put in this position. You don't want to be surrounded by none of this madness right here. You see? Because these are the results of it. All this madness and chaos. You don't want to be around that type of stuff. Do something more constructive with your time. That's all you got to do. Start trying to be better every day than the other day. Uplift yourself. Believe in yourself. Do what is necessary. That's all you got to do on a continuous basis. Do what is necessary and you will elevate. But if you don't do nothing, then ain't nothing gonna happen. You're gonna be in the same place. So if you don't want to be in positions like cornbread and straight drop and all that old type of stuff, look, leave that street stuff alone. It's a lie. And it ain't nothing good for you. This is Hood Educated, not Lane Related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.